Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Joe. Welcome to SNES's Life Recap number 99. Jesus. 495 games into the system library at this point. And wow, that's a lot. Coming this next set of five will bring me to 500, which means I only got another 220 or something to go. But many years we've been going, and we're still going, and we'll see if I can't finish it out, I guess, right? But that's not what we're here today. Today we're here to review the last five games quickly, my cover thoughts on them. Pitfall The Mayan Adventure, Ren Stimpy's Time Warp, Sonic Blastman 2, Samurai Showdown, and Pocky Rocky 2. Now these games were pretty good overall. There was one dumper in there. I bet you can't guess which it is. First up, Pitfall The Mayan Adventure is an interesting game. I remember this game getting a lot of hype when it came out and I was a kid, and that's purely based, I'm sure, on the looks. You know, they obviously put a lot of effort into the visuals of this game. It looked great. The animations were smooth and detailed. The shading and everything was done really well. It had a little bit of control issues. The jumping didn't feel as smooth as I'd like it to feel. But overall, I thought, along with the music, the gameplay, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I gave it a thumbs up. I think it's worth giving a shot. You know, are there better platformers? Sure, but when aren't there? This one I think felt pretty decent. You know, I was happy playing my hour with it. It's one of the neat things is there is a cheat code to play the original Atari version of Pitfall on here, so you can do that at the menu screen if you enter the cheat. One of the neat things is in the game when you get to the end, and I know I watched this, I didn't get to the end. You find Pitfall, you're Pitfall Harry Jr. You find Pitfall Harry, and he's like captured, and he's just the 8-bit sprite like strung up to a statue, which is hilarious. So I thought that was really funny. Yeah, I liked it. Pitfall The Mayan Adventure, that's worth playing. I don't know how much it goes for, but probably not terribly expensive. Next up, Ren and Stimpy Time Warp. Ren and Stimpy. God damn, Ren and Stimpy. I love this cartoon as a kid, man. And this is the third game I think I've played for Ren and Stimpy on the system. And my God, 201, they're all just awful. Not a good game amongst them, I'm telling you. It was choppy, it controlled poorly, it was boring. It had a bunch of weird, like, cheap hits and things in it that just killed you. I did not enjoy it. I would not recommend it. It's the only game out of this set of five, spoiler, to get a thumbs down. It just wasn't good. And I don't understand why. I mean, no, I take it back. I do understand why. It's a cash grab. Purely a cash grab. Ren and Stimpy was hot at the time, and they made a bunch of games for it. And probably made a bunch of money, but it was a shit awful game. I do not recommend. Don't look for this garbage. It's just bad. Next up, Sonic Blastman 2. I really, really like Sonic Blastman 1. It was a sleeper hit. I'd never heard of the game, never played it before until I played it for the show. And I thought that game was... I love beat 'em ups for one, but the game looked great. It had interesting enemy variety. The levels were fun. The music was good. And I really, really liked it. Sonic Blastman 2. The only thing wrong with Sonic Blastman 1 is it was a single-player game. Sonic Blastman 2 fixes that. It gives you a choice of, I think, 3 different players it was that you can play as. You get Sonic Blastman, who I'm playing as here in this fitted. And then there's a girl, and then there's like a chunky dude, like a big cyborg guy who is like half robot. It's very similar to every other beat 'em up on the planet. You know, Sonic Blastman's the middle of the road. The big chunky dude's the slow but hard hitting, and then the girl's the quick but not as strong. This game, just as much fun. I finished it up, played the whole thing. You know, it looked good. It sounded good. I do feel like this one lost something in translation. Like, they added the extra player, but I feel like the enemy variety fell off a lot in this one, whereas in the first game it felt very different. This one you played a lot of dudes that were very much the same, just with palette swaps and things. At the end, which I think is where this footage is from, is me playing at the end. There is a boss rush. You got to fight, like, I think 4 out of the 5 or 6 bosses a second time, which isn't a huge deal. I mean, it worked out just fine. The game was fun. I recommend it. Go give it a play. If you like beat 'em ups, you'll probably still like Sonic Blastman 2. I preferred the first one, even though it's a solo game. I I just think that the enemy variety and the visuals were slightly better. Maybe that's because they dedicated memory and space to getting the second player in here. I don't know, but I enjoyed it. Check it out. Next up, Samurai Showdown. This is an SNK joint from the Neo Geo days in the arcades. I remember this fighting game being a big deal because most of the characters, if not all the characters, I'm pretty sure had weapons. There was a couple characters that had like pets, like a dog and a hawk that you can use in the fight. I remember that being really cool. There's some fidelity loss. So the arcade, the images were very, very crisp and sharp. It was absolutely up to par with like Street Fighter, but it lost a lot coming down to the Super Nintendo. So I think that the colors are still good, the visuals are still great, the music's okay, the sound is okay. The sprites are a lot smaller than, and I'm going to have to compare it to Street Fighter 2 because that's what I compare all my fighting games to. That's like my favorite fighting game on the system. So the sprites are smaller and the movement doesn't feel quite as fluid, but the backgrounds are just as animated and nice looking. The controls were okay. Some of the moves were really hard to pull off. There were ones where like it's like right down, then down right. And so it's just not natural on the D-pad, and I couldn't get those moves to go off like hardly at all, if at all. But most of the moves are natural, like half circles or quarter turns. Not a big deal. It was pretty neat. I enjoyed the game. It was fun. I did finish it out. I think with 2 players, it's a good fighting game. I did give it a thumbs up because it's not bad. It is not a game that I would not play again. Like I would, if someone was like, "Hey, let's play Samurai Showdown," I'd be on board. So I did give it a thumbs up. Still like Street Fighter 2 Turbo better. I mean, that's just where we're at, Every fighting game on the Super Nintendo is going to be compared to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. And it's 2 sides of a coin, Like each one is its own thing. Yes, they're both fighting games, but I'm a Street Fighter guy. So it is what it is. But Samurai Showdown is a solid game. Don't let any of that talk discourage you. Definitely go out and give this a play if you get a chance. And final up is Pocky and Rocky 2. Now, Pocky and Rocky 1 was a solid shoot 'em up. Looked gorgeous. The music was good. It played well. 2-player co-op. Good times. This game, same deal. In fact, I'd say the visuals are probably almost the same, if not very, very, very similar. The thing they did in this game is they added the second player. Not only could you be Rocky the Raccoon, but you can start as this little other ninja girl or that big dude that you saw who's throwing rocks and bombs. And then there's, I think, like 3 other characters that you pick up throughout the game. There's like a stork, a scarecrow, and something else, I think. And the second player becomes those. As a solo game, you can merge with the second player and to use that second character's powers to do specific things. I assume as a 2-player co-op, the second player can just do that without merging. But the game looked really good. It played really well. And other than the difficulty spike with the bosses, and it's not that the bosses are hard per se, but they are damage sponges. I mean, you have to sit there and hit them forever for it to actually kill the damn things, which really takes the wind out of the sails a little bit on it, Like, I got there to the first boss. I think this is after the first boss, but on the first boss, I got to him with 4 lives, and he smoked through every one of my lives without issue, super duper quickly, just crushed the shit out of me, and that kind of sucked. It's a little hard to be too upset about that. Like, I get it that the game was designed as a 2-player co-op experience, and if I had a second player who was consistent and understood how to play the game instead of the AI, maybe it would have been a little easier, but my guess is not. My guess is that if they're damage sponges in single player like that, they're probably damage sponges in multiplayer like that. So it was still a very good game. It looked really good. It played really good, and I highly recommend. So this set of 5 games had 4 thumbs up, which is the most thumbs up I've probably given in a week in ages. In ages, dude. Except for maybe like the first set of 5 games I played, which are obvious bangers like Pilot Wings, Mario, SimCity, the launch titles. This one, there you just saw the second player turn into Little Ninja, which is the little ninja girl. So yeah, it's definitely worth going out and giving Super Bonk a look. and any of these games that other than Ren and Stimpy. That game god awful. So that's it, guys. Recap 99 done and dusted. I'm already, as of recording this, 2 games into the next set of 5. So it won't be too long, another week, and I'll be at 500 games played. That's a lot. It's a lot. But we're getting there. We're almost done. And I appreciate everybody who watches these and has stuck with me through the years as we've gone on. And that's it. We'll see you guys in the future. Peace out.